Hello, and welcome back to the Market Mamas. I'm Becky, and this is my girl Kendra, and we are day traders from the West Coast, brought together in our first trading education community back in 2021. So we quickly became friends and accountability partners through our trading and have become quite a duo since then. So this podcast community at Market Mamas is our platform that we created to speak authentically about real day-to-day challenges of learning to be a consistently profitable day trader. Our goals are huge and the challenges that we are growing through are really significant. But every day we do everything that we can to get 1% better and add value to our lives and our pursuits. And so it's coming together. We hope with this Market Mamas channel that we can add some of that value to your guys' journey as well. And for our value add today, we're so excited to talk to you all about the book that we absolutely love and found tremendous benefit from. It is One Good Trade by Mike Bellafiore of SMB Capital. Lovingly, I believe, referred to as Bella. So we'll call him that in this because he calls himself that in the book as well. So I first read this book about a year and a half ago, and I loved it then. But I think I loved it like loving the idea of all of it. But when I reread it this past month in preparation for this episode, I have to say that I gained so much more value from it now than I previously had. And I know that that's because I'm a year and a half deeper into my trading career and I'm really quite a different person and a different trader than I was back then. So I really enjoyed pulling out my favorite gems from this book. And I'm so glad that we're going to discuss so many of the great tips today for you and all our fellow traders out there.
Yes, this book was so good and just really powerful coming from the experience of an intraday trader's very first 12 years of trading. And through his growth as he and his business partner co-founded the very successful trading prop firm in Manhattan in the early 2000s. It was published in 2010, One Good Trade, inside the highly competitive world of proprietary trading. So author Mike Bellafiore shares his principles and techniques that have enabled him to navigate the challenging markets, both as a trader and as a mentor. Through the stories of his trading experiences and traders within his firm under his guidance, Bella emphasizes the skills and the factors that are key to success within the very challenging world of trading. Some of the fundamentals essential to developing statistically profitable trading strategies are covered in this book, and they include the principle of one good trade, prioritizing trading stocks only in play, and the skill of reading the tape. So this is a very larger and longer book than most, but it's because it's really packed with so many great examples and just important factors in a trader's journey. So I found so much value in this book and very happy to be discussing this book today.
Yes. Okay, so even in the intro of this book, it started right off with some great one-liners that had me taking notes like right away on like the first page. For example, this trading is about skill development and discipline. Unfortunately, too many people think trading is only about making predictions. I mean, I have had to learn this the hard way myself. When you start to learn chart and technical analysis fundamentals, it's really easy to fall down the rabbit hole of which direction a few bits of information are leaning towards. And then this creates a directional bias within your view of the market. But to then just trade that bias without appropriately weighing all of the pertinent live data during your trading session, it's a very dangerous way to trade. Making predictions and then blindly trading that prediction, it never works. And I actually really hear that. It makes sense to me. And then another really solid statement said a few times throughout this book to get us warmed up is, being a consistently profitable trader is about doing the 1,000 little things every day, like proper preparation, that impact your P&L. So this speaks so clearly to the intricacies of trading and how much work is really required to successfully pull off a few solid intraday trades. When I make one good trade in the morning for my trading day, that trade, it may only take 5 minutes from entry to exit, but it's the result of hundreds and likely thousands of hours of studying, trading, journaling, personal discipline training, and truly hard intellectual work. Becoming a successful trader is not a quick process. It's the result of thousands of little things built in over time into the trader that we each can become.
Right. I love that you bring up that point, Becky, because it's so true in regards to trading just being so different to how most individuals get paid in other industries. I really like the point that Bella makes in the book about there being some months when a prop trader works 50 hours a week and takes home no money. And there's some months when a trader works even harder and loses money. And he even said that in 2002, he was unable to make a dime. So I mean, just full honesty, right? I love that. And on the contrary, he also states there have been days when a prop trader is up over 10K by 9:35 a.m. or 6:35 Pacific Standard Time for Becky and I. So that's 5 minutes after opening, you guys. So he really drove home the point about trading having no guaranteed contracts or bi-weekly checks. And then he also states that in prop trading, we are the client. And man, this is the truth. And depending on the day or perspective, this can be the most incredible thing about trading or sometimes feel like the worst. Because at its best, it gives us the full freedom to not have to sell ourselves or convince others to buy into a product or a service we're offering. We get to have full control, creative control, and run our businesses and our processes, create our systems how we choose. And I've heard other advanced and very successful professional traders refer to this as the ability to literally wake up and be able to print money for yourself on any given day. I mean, like, sign us up, right? That's why we're doing this. So it's incredible, right? But of course, the flip side of this is that it can be, and what I think is the hardest to really overcome is that this is a solo sport, and no matter what you know, it always comes down to how you act, and that will determine if you are worthy from taking from Miss Market's abundance, or if you need more pain to just gain even more experience and even more lessons. Because the thing is, no one else is going to keep you in line or come and take that pain away.
Yeah, dude, that's like real talk right there. There's absolutely no guarantees in trading. That's the truth. All right, this next quote from Bella is really just one of my favorites. It reads, "A great trader is an elite performer. Elite performers spend every day trying to improve. Every day we trade is an opportunity to learn from the market. My mistakes and those of other prop traders are just gifts from the market for us to improve." So good. Anyone who is as dedicated and persistent of a trader as we are, you feel this one in your heart. I know I feel incredibly dedicated to my career as a day trader now, and I know my success is really just starting to blossom in this arena. And as such, I know I have to spend every day trying to improve and recognize that there is so much more to learn and fine tune and so much more possibility. And we love the perspective of making mistakes and those mistakes being gifts from the market for us to expand from. This is a required perspective, really, for a trader, honestly, if you are going to stay in this game long term, because it's just so far more unhealthy and unproductive to fight with Miss Market. She's the boss. And the more we can stay humble and attentive to learn her moves instead of trying to force our own upon her, the shorter our learning curve will be and the less pain we will endure in the long run, I think.
100%. And I gotta mention, Becky, that I love how Bella refers to the market as Mother Market. And throughout the book, I was like, hey, we do that. Like, and especially the parts about respecting her. It was just everything. So that leads us into this next great quote as well. And it goes, "Sometimes the uber bright and talented get sent home packing. It does not do any good to pretend to be a prop trader." Alrighty, so this is definitely a big part of the way Miss Market will humble us as learning traders, because it's so easy to get caught up in the conceptualizing of all the parts of trading and falling in love with being a trader before truly becoming a consistently profitable trader, or CPT, as Bella says. So I've been there for sure, wanting to have all the successes and status of a CPT before paying all my dues and market tuition necessary. He also says, The market demands that a trader follow her rules every day and every moment. Many just cannot thrive in this unbending universe. Let me tell you. I just had to relearn this lesson on Friday, and it's a reality check. Like, after reaching new milestones and maintaining consistency, it's far too easy to forget about the enemy that's just on our outside, outside of our walls, waiting for that one day or even moment to break the rule, a rule. This type of mental fortitude and awareness, it's very difficult to stay on top of. And I'm still trying to master my greatest weaknesses to this day. And I'm sure that I will always be on some level as I keep advancing. So it does very much feel like an unbending universe. And being at her mercy, it's just no way to play this game. So take it from me, follow her rules.
Oh my gosh, yes. I know that we have all been there, that's for sure. And your resilience will have you coming right back stronger, Kendra. We all bounce through all that cycles in trading. Like, that's just the way it goes. And there was a concept literally written in this book and has an undertone in many of the chapters that is really very powerful and throughout it. So it's the adage that success, for the better or for the worse, is totally self-dependent. And I really love that whole concept. We are the creators of our destiny as traders. The book was published 14 years ago, and even then there was experience in the trading world, blogs and tweets to learn from and firms to join. You could find help and guidance to become profitable and successful as a trader. Well, in today's world, there's like so much more, right? There's a wealth of information on trading, from blogs to YouTube channels, Discord groups, all manner of social media that you can join, thousands of helpful books. And if you're lucky enough to land in a really good trading community, as Kendra and I have been, then you have what you need at your fingertips night and day to learn this world. Regarding learning from mentors, Bella had some wise words. He advised, ask thoughtful questions. Your learning experience is as good as you make it. There will be things you don't understand. This is common. What is not okay is to ever leave a lecture or move on from a topic without mastering it. And if this means questions to your mentor, then this is your responsibility. Please ask, he says. So with this statement and the whole book, really, you can really tell that Bella is a mentor who is truly invested in the growth and development of his aspiring traders. And I can speak for myself that I completely feel this same attention and devotion from my mentor, Jermaine, within our community. And I'm so, so, so grateful. He wants us to ask questions and seek clarification on anything we're unsure about, knowing that the more we can grasp a concept, the less likely we are to repeat the mistakes that ought to be teaching us when we have those experiences. So when young traders like us ask clarifying questions and get thoughtful answers, this will cause our trading skills to improve and enable us to move forward more smoothly and with a stronger fundamental base. And so I definitely, from personal experience and from Bella's recommendation in this book, highly recommend seeking clarification instead of just trying to cover up a lost trade, because one will make you stronger and help you propel you forward. And one just means you're going to keep making that same mistake again, beating your head against the wall. And it's not pleasant. Kendra and I definitely totally second that request in terms of Market Mamas. So we are not technical analysis trading mentors at this time in our career, but we definitely have had some experience and growth through psychological battles of becoming professional traders. And we are more than welcome to have conversations with anyone. So if you feel like you can ask us anything, go for it and let's talk about it. And of your mentors that you may have, just ask questions. Fellow traders that you have, even if you know someone who also is trying trading, talk stuff out with them. There's so much value in conversations of trading, both winning and losing, that will really make an impact in your day. Use every opportunity to learn. I mean, this gig it's really not easy. So, find your resources and capitalize on them.
Right. Yeah. Let's all share the knowledge, and being open and vulnerable and transparent, that really helps. And you never know who you're inspiring. Like Becky and I have always been willing to share. And I mean, clearly we're here. So it's like ultimate testimony of how much we're willing to share. But, a lot of people you don't even know who you're impacting and affecting when you're willing to do that. So definitely there's so much learning and personal growth that trading requires. And I think it's a big part of why Becky and I fell in love with this pursuit. Bella really gives credit to that in this next quote. And it goes, traders learn more about themselves in their first year of trading than many learn in their entire adult lives. So, wow. I mean, that's a pretty grandiose statement, but he's not lying. Trading exposes so much that most people just will never even get the chance to discover, or would want to, for that matter. This is the down and dirty part of the huge psychological hurdle that we face in the arena. Again, it's exactly why Becky and I created Market Mamas. And we have so many episodes now of various topics, but they all have circled, back to our trading. Because each of our journeys, they will be unique and they will have varying challenges that will force us to go deep and learn about ourselves if we want to truly grow past them. We've talked about a lot of pain and trading trauma between Becky and I and our guests on the show. And so we know firsthand that we don't know one individual that has been immune to this aspect of trading. And I truly believe it is a blessing, because when everything is falling apart, that's when you really find out what you're made of. And many of us have realized that we're a lot stronger than we previously were, or at least thought we were. So every time, we do face setbacks and have gotten back on track with growth and our goals, it has just pushed us even further into realizing and actualizing our greatest potentials. And this required endurance, it just really rewires your brain to a higher level of performance than most other adults experience. So it really just kind of circles back to the point that Bella's making here, because you do have to have that transparency, that accountability, and that instant feedback that we encounter with trading. It's just so straightforward, and it's not like that in most other areas of life.
Right, totally. One concept Bella does such a good job of putting into perspective is the variance between day trading and a regular corporate job. At a corporate job, your annual review provides feedback and offers a bonus or a salary bump potentially based on your year in review. But in trading, Mother Market provides instant feedback. Either you traded well and you were rewarded with profits, or you were humbled and your loss provides instant feedback. A few direct quotes from him along those lines are, "Let me introduce you to our boss, the market. And if you choose not to change your behavior, the market will just reach into your bank account and take your money. Simple, honest, unwavering." So he's not wrong. I'd rather not have Miss Market drain my accounts, so I listened very carefully to this whole book. Teach me all the things. One of the many pragmatic and actionable pieces of advice from this book was really good, in fact, and I wrote it down and I want to share it with you guys because it can be a takeaway, a little piece of work that as a trader you could do, and it really will help us all level up. So here's what it says. Let me offer you a quick exercise to help with your trading. No matter what your skill level, go get your trading journal and draw a line down the middle. On the left, keep a list of things that do not work for you. Trading setups that don't work. Pre-market routines that are not effective. Trading rules that are not helpful. Then on the right, keep track of what works for you. Do more of what is on the right-hand side and don't do any of what is on the left-hand side. So that is exceedingly simple in its activity and in its premise. But if you really think about it and you utilize it in daily practice, it's incredibly powerful. Like, identify what you do that is slowing your progress, write it out, and then commit to just not doing what's on that list. And then inversely, write out what is helping you progress, your best setups, what supports your life and your activities, what exercise, visualization, etc. Whatever really makes you stronger as a whole person, as a trader, just do more of that. Straightforward, actionable, and uncomplicated. And so I loved that.
Oh, goodness. I love that you brought up that part of the book, and it really inspired our previous episode we just did about keeping it simple too. And I really love that it is just such a practical activity and sound advice that can even be applied to all things in life, really. keeping an intentional focus on what's serving me, what's serving us, versus what's not, right? It's and it's also similar to the activity that we talked about in another episode. I brought up about making the list of promises I'm keeping to myself. So it's always good to keep ourselves on track with those types of things. Another quote from Bella goes, "The biggest reward of this job is the challenge to become an elite performer. I seek every day to improve, and I've been at this for a while." So there is certainly no lies found there. We're always looking for ways to improve our performance by identifying where we could have understood better or acted differently in real time to make more of the opportunities this market gives us. The amazing thing about trading is it gives us the stage to do just that every day. While most of us who have been at this for years now, we have developed a fairly set style and edge, specific setups we're looking for. Not one trade will ever be identical. Sure, we have some very, balanced days that, repeatedly respect the same zones that you can trade in and out of. But even in those conditions, like every trade is still unique and very independent. So doing trade review and replaying, those are just two great ways to really intentionally improve your performance. And also, I like to think another level to this that I've tried to embrace more now is don't only do it on the days when you've underperformed, but on the days, even when you're like, oh, I'm at peace with my piece. I did good. I followed my plan and I got good results. It can be even more beneficial on those days to look for ways that you could have taken that trade from good to great. And doing this on a consistent basis, it can give you that material that you do need to challenge yourself to get better. Another example in the book that Bella used is one of his trader stories named Franchise. And it's when he was coaching him and he instructs him to work on 3 short-term goals to improve his trading. And I really like that just because sometimes, we can try to target like too many things at once. So I really liked how he gave this advice to sort of kind of like, zone in and to really target just 3 things at a time. And then, that's just in line with building a really, solid foundation brick by brick. And then once you improve those things, you can move on, like find 3 more things. And then before you know it, it's like, it's not so difficult.
Yeah. That's so good. I love the idea of like narrowing in on your biggest areas for improvement and just working on that and tuning out some extra for a while. That's smart. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit personal for a minute. My name is Becky and I have a problem. I have been guilty on more than one occasion of dollar cost averaging or doubling down with abbreviation DCA, dollar cost averaging, when I am in a trade and it pulls away from my intended direction. I know. I get it. Don't judge me that harshly. You've done it too. In this book, Bella, he has nicknames for his traders in his office and the stories that he relays about their experiences, such as Franchise that Kendra just mentioned. So on the topic of dollar cost averaging, he talks about a trader referred to as Skippy, and it wasn't in a great way. So here it is. Some would rather be right than make money. These are the types that conveniently forget that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And further, he says, predictions are fine, but the price action of the market or stock is most important for intraday traders like us. If you have what you believe is an irrefutable trading opinion and the price action does not confirm your bias, then do not make the trade. Predictions absent validation from the price action are not advisable if you wish to enjoy a long intraday trading career. Bella specifically also says, doubling down does not work for the intraday trader. I've tried it. 85% of the time, you will profit when you double down, but the 15% of the time you are wrong, you will get smoked. The losses during these trades will far outweigh the gains from the 85%. The math does not work. Okay, so this is why it is kryptonite for me. The 85% of the time, it works. But when it pushes hard and fast farther against me, the losses have been really, truly detrimental to my progress. So this part of the book was a bit of a personal gut punch for me and a known area that I'm working on curtailing. Plainly, Bella stated, there's a difference between buying into a pullback and averaging down. one makes you money, and one ends careers. All right. Point taken. I agree. I concede. I'm I'm going to do better. Okay. So along those same lines, Bella said in the book to all us traders listening, if you want to recognize your potential, then be the best listener on your desk or in your trading community. Listen to experienced traders. Listen to what the market has taught us. So this is facts, and it fits with the old but accurate saying, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we should spend twice as much time listening to those more wise than ourselves, including our boss, Miss Market. And Jermaine, I swear to God, I listen to you because he's told me a million times too, like, stop doing that. What would you have done if it would have just kept falling to hell? And I'm like, it would have hurt. I'm sorry. So, I mean, listen to those that are more wise than us and stop these behaviors that have known significant risk factors to our accounts. And I'm talking to myself, really. So maybe that will help someone else too.
It's real. And that's like we talked about before. It's one of those days when like you ended green, but you feel some type of way about it because it's like you were at her mercy for a time. But I feel it. And, we want to go where she goes, not get ahead. But he really did. He drove that point home. And for me, DCA hasn't been of so much my kryptonite, but I have gotten set on prediction or expectation and honored my stop losses, but taking a loss after a loss after a loss, like not giving up and still got smoked. So literally getting lost on the charts and tuning out what's actually developing. Bella is the most spot on with how we must align our behavior with our actions to play this game the right way. And this next part really sums that up nicely as well. He says, I am not trying to make money as a trader. My focus is on doing the right thing. All I can ask for is excellent risk to reward opportunities, and then I execute. Being good at my job requires an obsession with trading my fundamentals. Money is just a byproduct of me executing fundamentally solid trades. So Becky and I have heard this from the beginning also. Don't focus on the P&L. But it's so hard, especially when you prematurely start to make claims to those profits that haven't even been actualized. It can just really mess with your ability to uphold your risk parameters and put you in an overly aggressive trade hunting mode, not a selective and purposeful mode. We did an episode on the addiction of trading where I stated how the antidote to addiction is obsession, because you do need something stronger to overcome those urges. The point Bella makes about being obsessed with trading fundamentals and doing the right things is the only way you will make money, but more importantly, it's the only way you will keep the money you make. So this is the core of accepting, appreciating our risk to reward opportunities, but then also factoring in the game of probabilities to help us keep focused on just executing solid trades within our trading edge and not all the extra shit.
Yes, totally agree. Okay. So my husband is an engineer, and I know a little bit about the engineer brain as such. And I have always been kind of a science nerd myself. So I love this bit from Bella that I know all our engineers turned traders will also love. It's the trading preparation advice regarding if-then statements. And it's a solid foundation for trade planning. He says, with well-developed if-then statements, your results will be more consistent. In the book, he gets really deep into some examples of what this can look like for an intraday trader in his firm. So you'll really want to read that part all the way through for yourselves in the real book. But for the sake of length here, it would start with something like, if ES, our futures market, opens above the daily support at 5,400 and it can't push below that level within the first 15 minutes of New York session, then consider a long position. And then you would elaborate in writing in your morning trade plan as to what price action and data would prompt you to make what decisions within your trading session. You're essentially outlining a guide map to a logical day before your trading session begins so that when the candles start to print, you have a solid, well thought out plan to work from. And so this is really great advice for day traders, in my opinion. Tips like this for approaching trade planning can really help. I mean, this journey, it's not easy. And so I really loved how Bella emphasizes that we need to operate from the global objective to live to trade another day. A trader frequently mentioned in this book is Jay Toma, a trader who eventually made partner at S&P Capital and earned the ability to trade his own account. And then in that situation, you keep all your profits. You don't owe a cut to the founders. So how did it go with Jay Toma's first account? Well, Bella talked about it in the book. Apparently, he nearly blew it all very shortly after earning this privilege from excellent trading. So in that situation, Jay Toma got really serious with a performance psychologist and then implemented several interventions to adjust his trajectory. The market will demand that you change if you are to be successful. I love the quote in the book that plainly says, if you live to play another day, enormous trading opportunities will come. That trader, Jay Toma, he is a highly successful trader within S&P Capital now, and his accolades go on, and I'm not going to spend time here. But early on, that guy who has all these accolades and his partner in this huge firm in Manhattan, he also struggled early on. His example, outlined by Bella, is a beautiful representation of the tenacity and grit and faith in his greater abilities and his goals, seeing the forest through the trees and recognizing a slump and putting forth purposeful action in that situation. Encountering major failures right in your face, in front of your peers, in his bank account early on that could have had a less dedicated trader just quitting and hiding the tail between the legs and skirting off in the night. But he didn't. He doubled down in his commitment to his career and put forth a lot more efforts to get over it. And then he became a very, very successful trader. So literally I'm recounting that experience from the book and I have chills because that's who I want to be. I have had struggles and I have damaged accounts, and I doesn't mean I'm not going to get there. It doesn't mean any one of us can't do what Jay Toma did. So he's goals.
Yeah, he certainly is. And I appreciated all of the examples of all the traders because he really normalized the fact that, and I love how he talked about, he was like, you don't need to be profitable. We're not going to give up on you. We expect you to lose a significant amount of money. We're going to absorb that. We're going to do everything to support you. It all comes down to the person. Are you willing to endure what you need to go through, or are you just going to give up on yourself? So, it's a different type of skin, you got to develop to stay in this game. And I love how he also talked about your even on your worst days, this is your worst day. You're not going to stay here. Just take solace in that. This is the worst you're going to be. You're going to continue. And Becky and I have experienced that. Even on our worst days now, they're not as worse as our worstest day. So you just got to stay in the game and stay dedicated, of course, to leveling up and improving. But those if-then statements, those are gold. I like how it really simplifies it because, having those can keep you from veering off of your trade plan. And Becky and I, we consume a lot of other trading podcasts and interviews as we're forever learning from those in this game longer. And so this next bit of the book is really just the path that all CPTs have really stressed that is the best approach to this game. And it goes like this: build from a profitable base. Not risk $1,000 to make $1,000, but make X amount consistently with risking a fractional amount consistently, then building up from there. Keep pushing yourself to do better, but do not force it. This game is about putting money in your pocket, not throwing away weeks worth of gains. Okay, this is the absolute truth about longevity and the long game of all this. It really is the reality of trading versus seeking out the windfall gains that are too often plastered all over trading marketing ads. From my experience, it can be very hard to push yourself, to do better without forcing things. As some days require you to know when you need to back off and lower your risk and participating, while other days, need to be met with more. So Becky and I have referred to this as protecting our castle. When you look at your progress as a whole, it can help you to not over leverage, become over leveraged at any given time, any given point, and potentially throw away all that progress. it is, I feel like I can say with all certainty that it is one of the greatest challenges that keeps individuals from becoming consistent, profitable traders, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, I completely agree, because you can have like significant steady growth and then you can really just fuck it all in one day. And that, from what I have read and understood in my experience as well, that is a huge issue when you're really dialing it in. So I totally agree with you, Kendra. And as a stubborn streak in myself, like it's been something that I've experienced. So we have to manage that. So one sentiment in this book that I really enjoyed was about having a love for trading. Bella wrote that if you don't love trading, you will not make it. It's too challenging with the hard, continuous work required to gain edge. So without true passion, you quit. That's what happens. And this is from his perspective as a trading coach and prop firm co-owner, and it really makes so much sense. We have to love it to choose to endure the pain that is required to become a consistently profitable trader. Now, we have talked previously at Market Mamas about the power of visualization to rewire our brains, and have a great trading visualized episode actually that we wrote, and we'll link that in the description below for you guys, because Bella and S&B Capital also have some excellent advice about visualization, which I wasn't expecting in this book, and I loved it. So all S&B traders are taught to visualize for at least 15 minutes as a part of their daily pre-market routine. The example mentioned involves deep calming breaths, and then the trader would visualize frequent trading experiences and how the trader would ideally manage them. Example being, if your position starts to lose, you would hit out of it and close it down and accept the loss, and visualizing that as the positive outcome, a way that your day would go successfully, really. And so that practice encourages us to feed our minds with the executions that you intend to perform in a day, so that nothing is abnormal or weird or unexpected. You know what a day looks like as a trader, and it doesn't always have to be fat, green, easy profits. That's not normal. So having a healthy expectation is a part of that visualization process that they teach at S&B Capital. And I really, really like that. One part of the book that I really found inspiring was a section about managing trading slumps.
Mm-hmm.
This endeared me so much, I'm not going to lie. So Bella wrote, "How many times have I wondered if this is the end for me? Sometimes I actually go home, sit on my couch, and wonder if I am capable of continuing as a trader." And I would say I have done this at least twice per year in the past 12 years. This is a healthy process as long as these thoughts are then replaced by solutions. This is healthy because I do not want to feel this way. My personal disgust with my trading and inability to accept failure fuels an internal need to improve immediately. And it forces you to focus on what you do best as a trader and then execute. You either get better or go home, just like a pro athlete. I loved how he normalized the slumps. Even he said, as like in his 12th year of trading, he would have these experiences. And I mean, for me, I still seem to experiencing them like more like every 2 weeks sometimes. So I'm not yet at the twice a year place. However, that sounds way better. So, I mean, that's goals too.
Yeah.
But I love that. It's powerful when he encourages a trader to say that these slumps will happen, but use these times to focus on skill development, flexibility, patience, hard work, figure out what got you in that slump, and then counter it with effort. It's a time where we can adjust, we can grow, persevere. Perseverance is huge in trading. Like that's the getting back up again, you know? That frame that Bella provided, it's so much more stabilizing and healthy. Hard times don't have to be here to stay. They can teach us and provide fuel for our next growth period or evolution. And I really, really love and appreciated that view on this subject so much from him.
Oh, yeah. I love that part too. And I just feel like the fact that it can bring us so low sometimes in that slump, I mean, that's the evidence that how much we freaking care. Like, we're not doing this as a side hustle. We're not like blaming someone else, like, oh, you didn't give me the right, whatever trade call out or something. Like, we're so invested and like deep in this, like it freaking cuts us. So I really like that you just gotta use it to understand, like, okay, I care so much about this. Like, this is my life. Like, this is what I'm growing, what I'm building. So of course I'm going to have periods when I get down, but even on days where you might maybe feel particularly nervous, like, some days we just feel different than others. And I've heard in those moments to reframe the nervousness as, I just really care about this. Like, I'm really passionate. Like, this is meaningful to me. And so of course I'm going to feel nervous about it. But reframe that in the opportunity, the potential, and just the pressure that really is a privilege that we face every day. And some days it just really feels heavier than others, some weeks. But I really do find value when truly experienced traders talk openly about the reality of the depth of challenge and their own setbacks. It normalizes how incredibly hard that this feat really is, and what incredible work we are doing. This was a really long episode, you guys, but this book is incredibly comprehensive and really powerful and just timeless for any trader. There's just so much more in the full text. Maybe we'll do a part 2, but we would just really love for you all to enjoy this title as well, and let us know if you already have. Give us some feedback. And if not, in the description below, we have links to this book, you guys, because we are Amazon and Audible affiliates. So please check that out. Either purchase it through Amazon, or you could get yourself an awesome Audible membership and get a free book. We're so grateful to have you all here with us. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please hit us up on all of our various ways, through either our social medias, our email, check out our website, and we're going to be back soon with another episode. We hope that you all take care, and our best trading days are ahead.
Bye. Take care.